What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Trooper Transmission. And today we've got my man Alex, aka CT1040 here. Dude, thanks for coming on and sharing, your experience in the academy and how things are going so far.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad to be here.
Awesome. So take us back 6, 7 months ago. What was going on and what inspired you to join an army of troopers?
So, I mean, for the longest time, I was very much so a person who, would go try to do workouts, then, end up stopping for whatever reason. And I'd always think back to my freshman year of high school where through whatever, I mean, you had said I threw the sink at the fan, functionally dropped 50 pounds in the span of a year just by doing crazy cardio. But, I never really knew the intricacies of what went into that. Just, I was like, oh, yeah, I'll just do this much cardio per week. I think I was doing it about 5 times per week. And then, I was like, oh, well, I'll do these portion sizes, but I never really knew what went into that. I was just kind of guessing at it. So, fast forward to however many months back now, it was, well, I'm kind of tired of, trying to do this stuff and, not really getting the results I want. So I wanted some routine is not the word to use it. That's the word I initially had used, but it was very much so a change in lifestyle to kind of learn or unlearn everything I knew up to that point and learn the proper way to do things.
Yeah. Was it structure or was it education? Like you don't want to use routine. I'm curious what it was for you.
I mean, I had initially said structure, and the way we had kind of looked at it was given I was taking that I'm on the break from school, that this is a different form of education for me that
Mm.
will ultimately benefit me further down the road because you've said, me working out this week, I'm not going to see the results this week, but it accumulates. So I'll see that further down the road. So, 1 week from now, 1 month from now, 1 year from now.
Yeah. Yeah, it really compounds. I think that makes ton of sense, especially for younger guys who are like, "Oh, should I, do this now or figure it out?" It's like you could have it figured out at 24 and then you've got the entire back end to go figure other things out, like how to build
Mhm.
cool helmets like the ones that you've made. Um, to that point, what were maybe some of your concerns joining and concerns once you joined and like, oh man, like were there any preconceived notions or thoughts that, maybe we weren't gonna have any carbs or any fears that you just kind of realized like, wait, like that's not actually the case.
Think I was just kind of scared of taking a step out and doing something I've never really done before. I've always been that sort of person of, it's terrifying to take that first step out. I mean, I remember before my first day, I was out with my best buddy Jason and we were getting a barbecue and I'm like, "Yep, this is my last day of eating like this, Jason. Tomorrow everything changes." And I still have some days like that, but it's not that hard of a change in all honesty. Everybody wants to make it so, oh, I'm going to do XYZ diet. It's not a diet, it's a lifestyle change. And, it's kind of easy once you get into it.
Yeah, definitely. To that point, what changes would you say you've made that have had the biggest bang for your buck, or like the 20% where it's like, hey, if I just focus on this, I get 80% of the result. And like what's made it easier for you?
I mean, of course, the workouts are fantastic. Getting into the gym within the past month has been fantastic for me as well. But, cutting out a lot of the junk that I ate on the daily. So, it's, oh, pizza 2 or 3 times a week. Oh, homemade cookies. Stuff's great on occasion, but every day it really does not add any benefit to, the nutrients you're taking in, anything like that. It's not offering you, your protein intake. It's more so offering sodium. It's offering your carbs. Carbs are great for energy, but not as a single sustainable source.
Yeah. Yeah. You can't just live off carbs, unfortunately, as good as French fries are, right?
Oh
Um,
yeah. Like Scott Pilgrim says, he loves garlic bread and Ramona corrects him. That makes you
yeah.
fat.
What would you say the three keys to success are for you? Like the three things that either maybe you hadn't implemented before, or maybe you've been implementing, you just didn't realize you were doing them and it was benefiting you. Like, what are your three key things that you would say to your younger self at 16, 17, or someone who's just getting started? That would be like three things that would be total game changers.
Get up and walk. I mean, daily, just go out for a walk. You don't even have to go outside. You can go on a treadmill. You can just get in your steps, in all honesty. I mean, most of us spend the whole day sitting in a chair. I work IT. I understand how that is. But, that daily walk is really important. I mean, get the steps in. It still burns a significant amount of calories. We aren't made to just sit around all day, anything like that. Cut the crap from from what you eat daily, in all honesty. I mean, there's no reason to be sitting around eating a bag of Lay's chips, anything like that. Heck, you can even substitute things. So you want a cookie, get a protein cookie. It still isn't great, but it's at least somewhat better, just
Yeah.
somewhat.
Yeah. So you'd say that's kind of like number two, where it's you can still almost like fail forward, where it's like, okay, you're having a protein cookie. At least it's got some protein in it.
It's like 16 grams for 420 calories. Not great returns, but better than a regular cookie.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. So final one then. The first one being go up and walk. Number two, don't sit there and just eat junk. What
Yeah.
would be number three?
I would say kind of put forth your best foot forward. I mean, step out of your comfort zone. I mean, everybody wants to make it sound like, oh, well, I need to achieve X, Y, or Z first before I do this. Just jump head first. I mean, it'll take some adjusting. It by all means, the first month may be difficult, but commit to it daily. You don't even have to say, I'm doing this as a New Year's resolution. I am someone who is heavily against New Year's resolution. Take it day by day. Do not commit yourself for a year, day by day, little steps.
Yeah, dude, that's huge. And for you, it's been working, man. Whether it's the strength improvements, how you're feeling, body composition, like what are some of the things that you've noticed where you're just like, oh man, like this is a huge change from where I was just 3 or 4 months ago.
I mean, posture has been a big one for me. I mean, I remember taking the initial photos and, I'm slouching down a bit, head down, all that. And, now I can stand up a lot straighter than I could before. I mean, of course, it's still somewhat a daily battle at times, but, posture has been a big thing. Of course, my back looks a lot better than it did initially. That's a big one. My arms are up an inch or two. It's crazy just how big changes are whenever you just, you commit to it daily.
Yeah. And we were just talking about this before. To
Mhm.
lose 10 inches around the waist is crazy. And, you've seen that. You just hit 20 pounds down. Um, Anytime you're getting bigger arms and getting leaner and building your back, like, and posture, wins across the board, dude. And super pumped
Yeah.
for you. Super pumped for you. Any final words, any final thoughts, whether it's, what's your take on the new Mandalorian movie or, fitness tip? Like what's your final thought here?
Just do it today. Don't say tomorrow. We all want to say tomorrow. It's very much so a thing of, oh, I'll study tomorrow. I'll start working out tomorrow. I'll put in a resume tomorrow. Do it today. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. Make the change today.
This is the way.
This is the way.
This is the way. Awesome, man. Thank you for the tips and just like the straightforward facts. Like nothing you said was not just absolutely accurate. And I love, the change you made physically and mentally. And it just speaks volumes as to like how you're articulating yourself now. So pumped to see how you continue through the academy. And thanks for the time, man.